All right, guys, let's talk about clearance jobs. So if you have a security clearance, this video is going to change how you approach your cleared job search. Clearance jobs is not a job board with a clearance filter bolted on it. It is the only platform in the country built exclusively for cleared professionals. Every employer on it is vetted. Every recruiter operates in the defense and intelligence space, and the numbers back it up. You got 90% of top contractor hires at some of the biggest defense companies in the country. They come from clearance jobs. And the interview to hire success rate on the platform is 75 to 85%. And the clear job market right now itself is growing at 7 to 10% annually right now. But being on this platform is not enough. The platform has its own algorithm, its own AI scoring system, and its own visibility mechanics. What we are going to go and cover today is how all of this works and exactly what to do to put yourself at the top of recruiter search results. Let's start with what clearance jobs actually is and why it's fundamentally different from every other job platform. Most veterans and transitioning service members approach clearance jobs the way that they would approach USA jobs or, LinkedIn. They just upload their resume and they wait. And that is the biggest mistake you can make because clearance jobs is a fundamentally different kind of platform, right? Every employer on it has been vetted. Every recruiter is operating specifically in the defense, intelligence, or government contracting space. And you're not competing against uncleared candidates. You are in a pool of people who have already passed the baseline qualifications that most of the civilian workforce never will. For example, Leidos, they check it every morning. GDIT checks it every morning. Mantech, Booz Allen, Khaki, SAIC, Amentum, they all run searches on this platform daily. There was an Army veteran. She said that she applied to 5 jobs on her first day on the site, and then she got 3 responses back in under 24 hours. So this is after months of silence on other platforms. And the other thing to understand is that this is a network. This is not just a job board. It has a social feed called Pulse. It's got employer profiles, messaging groups, and hiring events. And the candidates who treat it as a network get contacted far more than the ones who treat it as a portal. And unlike LinkedIn, your profile in clearance jobs is not publicly searchable. It is only shown to vetted US based employers who have been verified by the platform. So, your security and privacy are built in. But I want to get into the engine that runs under the hood because this is kind of like my expertise. This is what I like to look at. And this is the thing that nobody really talks about, right? When you apply to a position on clearance jobs through a government contractor, your application does not go directly to a human recruiter like most people think. It enters a system called an ATS system, but their system is specific to AgileATS. What is AgileATS? AgileATS is a purpose-built applicant tracking system designed specifically for the government contracting environment. That means it handles compliance requirements for the Department of Labor, OFCCP, and if you don't know these acronyms, it's okay. EEO standards. These are standard corporate, ATS software, and it uses AI to score and rank candidates before a recruiter ever touches an application. A little bit different from USA Jobs, and we'll get to that a little bit later. So here's how the process works in a sequence. First, AI resume parsing. The moment that your resume enters AgileATS system, this is Clearance Jobs' ATS system, the AI parses it and automatically extracts what it identifies as your top 10 skills. These become the data points that define how you are scored against open positions. So if your resume does not surface the right skills in a format the AI can read, your score suffers regardless of your actual experience. Second, the relevance score. This ATS system assigns you a score based on how closely your profile and resume match role requirements. Recruiters see a pros and cons breakdown for every candidate before they read a single line of your resume. So if your score is low, you are invisible. Third, this is called IntelliSearch. This is on the recruiter side. Clearance Jobs has a proprietary search tool called IntelliSearch. So that means recruiters can paste an entire job description into it, and the AI surfaces the candidates whose profiles most closely match. So if your keywords are not present, you do not appear in those search results. Fourth, a Boolean search. This is a little bit more technical. Recruiters also run precise Boolean queries. This means something like if they type in TS/SEI and cybersecurity and CISSP and remote. So if those exact terms, such as what they entered, if you don't contain all of those, and it's not in your profile, you're not in the results. You got and or those. Called a Boolean search. Fifth, OFCCP compliance tracking. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. But that means every decision in the hiring process is logged in an audit trail for government compliance reporting. So the process is systematized because it has to be legally defensible at every step. That means If you get rejected, it is audited, it is tracked. Sixth, activity ranking. The more that you log in and update your profile, the higher you rank in recruiter searches. An inactive profile from 6 months ago will rank below a fresher one every single time. The core principle here is the same one that governs USA jobs. The keywords in your profile determine whether the system surfaces you. If the right language is not there, you do not exist in the results. Now that we understand the system, let's talk about how to build a profile that wins inside of it. First thing that you can do, most profile on ClearanceJobs exist. They're not invisible. And here's the difference. Step one, turn on profile searchability. I know it sounds obvious, but a significant number of candidates complete their profile and just set it to private. If your searchability is off, everything else I'm about to tell you is irrelevant. Toggle it on right now if you have not already. Step two, engineer your title field. This is the most valuable real estate on your entire profile. Do not write systems analyst. Write something like TS/SEI cleared cybersecurity analyst, comma, CompTIA Sec Plus, comma, mission focused, right? You want to pack your clearance level, your primary skill, your top cert, and a positioning statement into that one field. This is your search engine headline. Step three, upload your resume and fill out the profile fields. There are two separate data sources that feed into different parts of the system. Your uploaded resume feeds the AI parsing engine that extracts your top 10 skills. Your profile field feed the IntelliSearch database that only the recruiters query, right? So if you only complete one of them, you are cutting your visibility in half. The fourth thing, write a summary that leads with your clearance level. Recruiters in the cleared space make very fast decisions. Before they read anything else, um, they want to know, what is your clearance level? Do you have a polygraph? What's your primary skill? And how much relevant experience do you have? Answer those questions in the first 2 lines of your summary and just don't make them hunt for it. Step five, review your skill cloud. The skills cloud is a visual representation of keywords that dominate your resume and profile. It is the one of the first things that a recruiter sees. So open your profile, look at it honestly, and does it reflect the roles that you're targeting? If you're going after cybersecurity positions and your skills clouds is full of logistical terms from earlier in your career, that is a keyword alignment problem. You can manually add skills at any time. Step six is complete your personality and workplace preference sections. This is constantly skipped, and it actually matters. Employers use this data to assess fit and retention risk. So the defense contracting space has a significant retention problem. And a candidate who completes this section and they'll signal alignment with a company's culture, this is meaningfully more likely to get contacted than one who would leave it blank. I want to talk about what your resume specifically needs to do inside the system. This is very important. Your resume on ClearanceJobs has to do two different jobs simultaneously. It has to satisfy the AI that reads it first and the human recruiter who reads it second. For the AI, this is their ATS system, AgileATS, parses your resume and extracts your top 10 skills to build your relevance score. If the right keywords are not clearly and explicitly written in your document, the AI will underscore you regardless of your actual qualification. The keywords that have to be explicit are your clearance level, your polygraph type, if applicable, your certifications by name, the systems and tools you've worked with by name, any agency names or contract names that are unclassified, and GovCon specific job functions. For the human recruiter, once your relevance score gets you in front of a recruiter, they want to know what you've accomplished, not just what you've done. Here's the difference. A weak resume bullet says this: provided logistical support to forward operating bases. A strong resume bullet says managed a $4.2 million supply chain operation supporting 850 personnel across 3 forward locations, achieving 99% mission readiness over 14 months, right? It's the same experience, but it is a different impact, and it's all about how you word it. The second version surfaces as a match for program management, logistics, supply chain, operation roles. It tells the recruiter what you did and the result was, and that is what gets you the interview. This is the military to GovCon translation problem, and it is exactly what Best Military Resume is built to solve. And we'll get into that a little bit later, but BMR understands the GovCon language, right? The cleared role requirements, the keyword patterns that their ATS system uses, and also the intelligence, the IntelliSearch, what they're scanning for. What we offer is we give you two free resumes completely on us so you can try it out and see how well it actually works. But building a great profile is only half of the equation. And I want to talk about the active tactics that you can use that actually keep you surfaced, right? So that way your profile doesn't get buried. So a complete profile that you never touch, this is not enough. The platform rewards activity. And here are the specific things that actually, move the needle. Log in and update your profile at least once a week. Activity directly affects your search ranking. Even a minor profile tweaks resets. Your last active date will keep you surface in the recruiter results. This is the single easiest thing you can do, and most people never do it. Next thing, set Boolean search alerts for your target roles. Most people set generic alerts by job title. Set them the way a recruiter would search. Something like, for example, SOC analyst or cybersecurity specialist and TS SEI and remote. And if you're not really familiar with Boolean searches, I highly recommend taking a look at that and doing some research on it. But you will see roles before they fill up with applicants. Follow and actively engage with employer pages of companies you want to work for. Remember, this is a networking tool too. Like their hiring posts, comment on status updates. Every interaction sends a notification directly to the recruiter managing that company's ClearanceJobs presence. They check who is engaging with their content. Then they check that person's profile. Next thing is check your dashboard every single day because it shows you who viewed your profile, which companies are checking you out most frequently, and job recommendations tailored to your background. And that information is actionable because if a company you want to work for is viewing your profile repeatedly, reach out to them. Indicate openness to contingent roles. This is one of the most underutilized settings on the platform. A significant portion of GovCon job postings are contingent on contract award. Flagging openness to these dramatically expands your available opportunities. And it also signals to recruiters that you understand how the GovCon industry works. And that itself is a positive signal about your fit. Lastly, engage on the Pulse feed, post status updates, share career wins, comment on employer content. Active Pulse participant rank higher in search results and get contacted more frequently. So treat it like a professional social feed, not just a job listing board. I want to zoom out and let's talk about why the market right now is so strong and what it means for your timeline. So the cleared market in 2026, it's growing at a 7 to 10% annually, and the demand is being driven by national security. The cleared talent pool is not keeping pace with that demand. So if you haven't had active clearance right now and relevant skills, you are in one of the strongest job markets in the country right now. And recruiters are not waiting for the perfect candidate. I can promise you that. They are looking for the best available cleared candidate. One thing worth understanding is that if you're newer to GovCon, the space, many job postings on ClearanceJobs are what the industry calls contingent on contract reward. So that means that the company is building a talent pipeline in anticipation of winning a contract. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're making an immediate hire. And it's not a red flag. It's just how GovCon works. So when a contract is awarded, the company needs to staff up and fast. The candidates already in their pipeline get the first calls. Indicating openness to contingent roles puts you in that pipeline early and gets your name in front of a recruiter before the competition even begins. Again, if you're a cleared veteran with, you got relevant experience and your profile is optimized the way we've described, you're not going to really struggle on the platform. You're actually going to get called. Let's close with specific actions to take before your next application. Okay. I've got 10 things for you and pay very close attention. Do these before you submit your next application. Turn on profile searchability. Write a title with your clearance level, primary skill, and top cert. Upload your resume and fill out all the profile fields. Write a summary that leads with your clearance level. Review and fix your skills cloud. Complete the personality and workforce preference sections and make sure you log in and update at least once a week. Also, set Boolean search alerts for your target roles and make sure you're actually following and engaging with the employer pages of companies you want to work for. Because, if you indicate openness to contingent roles, you have a much higher chance of actually getting hired. And that's the full playbook, guys. Your clearance is an asset most of the civilian workforce will never have. The clear job market is growing and the talent pool right now is not keeping pace. So you've got real opportunities out there, but the platform has to be able to find you first. So make sure that you build your profile to work with the system. And if you need help translating your military experience in the GovCon language that AgileATS scores highest, Best Military Resume is free to start at bestmilitaryresume.com. First two resumes are free. Cover letters free. We've got LinkedIn optimization free. There's no trial. You don't have to sign up with a credit card. So thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe, and let's get you hired, guys.